Today I'm going to be reviewing the Building Math Minds Virtual Summit and if it is something that you should take part in next year. The short answer, yes, it is absolutely worth it, and if you can, you should take advantage of going virtually next year. I'm going to be filling you in on the sessions that helped me the most, kind of key takeaways, and what I'm definitely going to be bringing in to my class moving forward. So what is a virtual math summit? A virtual math summit or a virtual conference is kind of what it sounds like. There are several different professional development sessions that you can attend by different experts in the field covering a variety of topics from pre-K to 5th grade was this particular summit. So the way that it worked is you signed up, like I said, for free, and then you got access to all of the recordings of the sessions and a workbook if you chose to download it. It might have been good. I never download that kind of thing because I'm just not going to use it, But just listening to the sessions was really, really helpful. And the best thing about it is that since it was recordings, you could watch them on your own time. You could have them playing while you were doing other things. So folding laundry, prepping for next week. So I could listen and use them at the same time. When I first started this channel and my blog, the reason I first started, little background, the reason I first started this channel and my blog was that when I started teaching kindergarten, I was teaching math and science only. I didn't have any language arts or social studies in Spanish because I teach Spanish immersion. So because I had such a narrow focus, I could really dig deep into it. And then I realized that I wasn't really sure of the best way to teach these concepts. Like teaching kindergarten, I knew when I started, I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Counting, patterns, that's all like easy math concepts. But it is for grown-ups because we've been counting all of our lives. But for kindergartners who this is their first school experience, it can be really, really foreign concept and really difficult for them to grasp and understand and be able to make use out of. And I found that out right away. So I did a deep dive trying to figure out the best way to teach young students and to develop number sense in young students. And I found that number one, it was really hard to find that information. It wasn't really consolidated. And number two, I just wasn't really sure where to look. So because that has been my focus for so long, I've been really trying to, I feel like I've collected a lot of information and I am sharing it here with you guys. So hopefully you don't have to search around forever like I did. So back to the summit, they had sessions for anywhere from pre-K to 5th grade, kind of lower elementary and upper elementary, which I really appreciated because like I said, lower elementary for me has been harder to find a lot of information on. So I was really happy to see that. And there were two sessions in particular that I absolutely loved and got a ton of useful information out of. The first one was Conferring in Math Class, Visual Goal Setting Around Counting, Pre-K to 2 by Dr. Nikki Newton. And the last virtual summit I went to is when the first time I saw Dr. Nikki Newton, and I really, really like her style, her flair. She's like a auntie that knows all of the answers and just is like super chill. So she's really enjoyable to listen to and really passionate about her subject of math for young students. The last session I heard from her was all about counting, and this one is conferring or like math conferences with students. And I was just kind of like, why did I never think of that? Especially because in language arts and writing, you have tons of one-on-one conferences like that, with students. So she suggested doing something similar, like goal setting conferences with students, and use visual representations of kind of what they're supposed to be learning so that they have that goal in mind and kind of know what to pay attention to. A lot of times with our struggling learners, they're not really sure, they're overwhelmed, they don't really know what I should be paying attention to, what I'm not supposed to be paying attention to. So a lot of times they just tune out, which is definitely not what we want. So I will definitely be using conferences, especially with those students, to kind of give them a little bit more direction and kind of a goal to be working towards. The structure that she presented of the conference was actually really simple. It's kind of like ask them what they're doing in math, give them a compliment on what they're doing, kind of have them do math with you, notice where they were having trouble, and support them in making small kind of bite-sized achievable goals to kind of build up that positive momentum of I can do math, I am a math person. So like I said, I will definitely be using that in my room. The other session I really enjoyed was by Jen Hunt, who I've never heard of before, but it was Leveraging the Brain-Body Connection as Math Intervention for Primary Students. And she talked about the different areas of the brain and how trauma or a lot of other things like being a language learner or a multilingual learner can really impact your ability to learn in school, and kind of using all different modalities, different parts of the brain to really communicate information and help those students learn and understand. I had done a lot of work around trauma, so I knew about a lot of that brain science, but kind of putting it all together just helped me focus on being more intentional about the way that I'm presenting information to students so that they can be successful. So I'll definitely be using that in my classroom as well. The last honorable mention was the author of the Building Thinking's Classrooms Framework. And if you've been around for a while, you know that I've been working on that all year. But watching him speak was kind of a good reminder of like where my focus should be, and kind of remembering to move forward with my next steps. I feel like my kids have got the process down, like the math solving process, and we're going to move forward with our medium, mild, or spicy tasks to kind of consolidate their learning.